In 2017, Governor Cuomo asked the Department of Health to do a study on the causes of cancer at 4 sites in New York State where cancer rates were elevated relative to the rest of the state. Those sites included Warren County. 3 of the others were the Buffalo West Chiquawanda area, parts of Staten Island, and parts of Suffolk County. The health department issued reports on each of these sites, and they concluded for each of the sites that the elevations in rates of cancer was because of behaviors of the people in those areas. They smoked too much, they drank too much, they were too fat and had high rates of obesity, and it was basically their own fault that cancer rates were so high in those areas. Well, people in Warren County didn't like this conclusion, and they reached out to my colleagues and me to try to evaluate those reports, because noticeably those reports did not identify sources of chemical contamination with carcinogens that might be the explanation. So what we did, with the help of Paul Hancock particularly, was to look at rates of smoking and alcohol consumption and obesity and other adverse behaviors in Warren County as compared to those in other counties that did not have such elevations of cancer. What we found in those studies will be presented tonight. We found basically that the amount of alcohol consumption and smoking and obesity in Warren County was just about average. It certainly wasn't elevated, and it certainly wasn't elevated to a degree that would explain why there was such a high rate of cancer in Warren County. Now, there was some preliminary attempt to look at air and water pollution, but there was no systematic attempt to look at chemical contaminants. Warren County is very close to the PCB-contaminated sites on the Hudson, and there's a long history of General Electric taking contaminated sediments and dumping it in Warren County. There are several industries in Warren County that emit chemical carcinogens. So while we don't know why cancer rates are so high in Warren County, and they are elevated relative to adjacent counties, but we do not accept the allegation that it's because of dangerous behaviors of the people in Warren County. And we call for a systematic analysis of the exposure to chemical carcinogens that, in our judgment, probably explain the elevations in cancer in Warren County. And this probably applies to the other sites as well. Thank you.